How you doing? It's Coffee Break with Jimmy. The stuff that's going on right now with President Trump, I guess he just got an award from the Richard Nixon Foundation for peace. He got an award from the Richard Nixon Foundation, and I don't think he's ever going to get that was given to him by the White House. And that's a good thing because President Trump's done a number of things to deserve some kind of recognition. And as far as getting the Nobel Peace Prize, I don't think that's ever going to come about. I guess there was one dedicated to him by a Maria Machado, I think it was. She's from Venezuela. And she got the Nobel Peace Prize, and she dedicated it to President Trump. She's the opposition of Maduro, I guess. And Norway, I guess that country is the one that puts out the Nobel Peace Prize, or awards it to different people. They gave the Peace Prize to Barack Obama. And to what I say, for what? What did he do? Okay. He was the first black president, and he really wasn't the first black president. He's mixed race. And I remember, was it Officer Tatum? I was watching a podcast on him one time, and he says, no, Barack Obama was not the first black president. He was the first mixed-race president. He was mixed, he was white and black. So that doesn't even constitute him being black, but that's the way everybody looks at it. And so he got the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know. It was for something else, and I don't know what it was. It was insignificant to most people because it just really didn't matter, but he got the Peace Prize. But Trump has been nominated several times by other world leaders for him to get the prize. And at this point in time, after his first term, and he's the one that started the Abraham Accord, developed the Abraham Accords, him and his team. The things that he did in his first presidency, and what he's done in the last 8-9 months. Should have gotten the things that he's done. He stopped 8 different conflicts. Now, there's some of them were like, well, you talk about Pakistan and India, 2 nuclear-powered countries that were fighting one another, probably for Kashmir, I think it was, and they stopped. He convinced them to stop their war, their conflict that they're having, and it was all doing to trade, I guess. They all wanted to trade with the United States because the United States is doing so much better. They wanted to trade with them, so they stopped. They stopped their conflict. Other countries too. I mean, there's 8 of them altogether at this point in time, and just in the last 8 months. Of course, we don't know. The jury's still out on Gaza and Israel. They got the hostages back, and that was a great thing. But they still haven't brought in all of them. I know they got a couple of them. The hostages that had died. They brought their dead bodies back. There was some of them. They haven't got all of them yet. And I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that because they're just kind of slow walking this whole thing. And on top of that, I mentioned this on a podcast here about a week ago when they first started this. I said, well, they're going to let Palestinians back into Gaza, and what they're going to do is use them as human shields again. And I was right. This looks like what they're doing. They're going to use them as human shields again. They haven't put down their weapons. They haven't laid them down, and it's just. I guess step 2 on this process, of course, they're going to go through the process. They're not giving up on it, and I guess that's a good thing. They're assassinating some of the Palestinians coming across because they thought they were traitors, or somehow or another they were traitors to Hamas. What's going to happen? It's going to happen bad if they don't do what they said they were going to do. They're going to lay down their weapons. Like I said, President Trump had given them a back door, a way out, But there's nobody who wants Hamas. I guess Iran is done with them. Iran, I mean, they're done with Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis. Because Iran, they know that if Iran keeps up what they're doing, that's going to end badly for them. They already got bombed really bad. They got their nuclear weapons destroyed, their nuclear power. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but just think about all the stuff that's happened around the world, especially in the Mideast, where things are really, a lot of the countries where they had 35 countries there that President Trump met with in Egypt, and that's why there was one of the, I think it was the Egyptian president that nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize, and I could be wrong. Could have been another dignitary but I think it was the Egyptian president. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that Donald Trump's doing to create world peace, and that's his main thing. He wants the dying to stop, and I think that's a great thing. I mean, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on all that. I tell you, it's Donald Trump is doing so many things, and not only that, but there are things that he's doing here locally, here, domestically, here in our country. Things that, I mean, it's okay. The government has been shut down. That's really not his fault. The shutdown, we've talked about this before. The shutdown's still continuing. It hasn't stopped. I mean, it hasn't started back up again. And it has to do with Chuck Schumer, I guess. He was afraid of OAC, primarying him for the Senate seat. And so he's got to stand fast with that. But all that's going to do is just give medical to illegal aliens that they came across illegally. Now, there's some that are here, and I know of some that are here. I've worked with some of them because they do work in the industry that I work in. And they're good people, don't get me wrong, but it's still illegal. There's a proper way of getting here legally and getting vetted. You got to get certain checkups. You want to bring in diseases, or you don't want to bring people over that's felons. They got to be checked out. But yet, millions of people came across the border under Joe Biden's presidency. And Mayorkas said over and over again, well, the border's secure. Well, the border wasn't secure. And now the Democrats, they got to fight with everything. I don't care what it is. It's orange man bad, right? They got to fight about, they don't have anything. They don't have any policies. They don't have anything that's going to make this country better. So they piss and moan about different things that's all they got. That's all they got. I mean, okay. President Trump is building a ballroom at the White House. Now, frankly, I always thought there was one there. I always thought they had some big room there for dignitaries and kings and queens and from other countries that they come here to visit here, and they'd have these big, massive parties there where they invite them here to the White House, and they have and they never had anything big enough for something like that. I mean, they have one room, I guess, could hold up to around 80 people, but this ballroom is going to hold hundreds, and that's what they need there. And Donald Trump is paying for this out of his own pocket. They got some other donors that are helping him. So you got some donors that are friends of his that are donating to building the ballroom at the White House. And it's just going to add to it. But the Democrats complain about that. This is not his house. How can he do this? I guess the end of the East Wing, I guess it is, or I don't think, the East Wing, I think it is, where they're putting the ballroom. They knocked a hole in over there. They're not, that's not his house. He can't do it. Well, other presidents have done the same thing over the years. Think about it. One president put in a pool, and they took it out. Another president took it out, and they made it a room there to have meetings in. A pretty good sized room there. I think that's a room that'll hold 80 people. And then they put a bowling alley downstairs. Well, what good is a bowling alley? I mean, come on. A bowling alley in the White House, there's only a few people are going to be able to use that. They built that indoor pool that this other president took out, and he did some things, made some changes. But other presidents done the same thing. No one said a word about anything, about any of the upgrades to the White House. And this has been done ever since it's been built. I mean, they've always had upgrades to the White House. It's made it bigger. They get the West Wing where they have meetings and different things. You know, of course, you got the White House, got the Oval Office, all that in the White House. That stuff is normal that we all know about. But there's other things that's the people's house, they say. Well, of course it is. But Donald Trump is making a big ballroom there for others that come here to visit, for other dignitaries. They have others, other countries and stuff, where they can have these massive balls where, I always thought they had something like that, but I guess they didn't. But now they're going to have it, and Donald Trump's building it, and the Democrats are complaining about it. What is he doing? This just like they have nothing else to complain. They have nothing else to say. Like I said, they got no policy. They got nothing to help this country get better. Same thing with this government shutdown. We were just talking about that. The government shutdown is all on the Democrats. All they got to do is just, vote this thing in, and then they can make some other have discussions or debates on what needs to be talked about and things that need to be changed. That maybe there's going to be some parts of this bill is going to be changed, and they're going to talk about this, and they're going to work things out. That's what the government's supposed to do. But come on, shut the government down to where now the military's not getting paid. The air traffic controllers aren't getting paid. There's other people that aren't getting paid. That's part of this government shutdown. Oh, there's others that are. I think they said that they shouldn't pay the Senate or the Congress. Oh, no. You still got to pay the Senate and the Congress. Well, no. If you're going to shut it down, then you guys shouldn't get paid either. But I guess this whole thing, this whole mess, all starts with the Democrats. And I'm from California. I did a podcast here a while back how California's been run for the last 15 years by Democrats. Not democracy or anything like that, by the Democrats. And California is the fifth largest economy in the world, and yet we charge more taxes, we charge more for gas, our groceries are higher. Our cost of living is a lot higher here in the state of California. State of California is a great state. Sun shines all the time. You got so many things. You can go up in the mountains, go skiing. You go out in the ocean, go surfing. You got so many different things I guess you can do in the state of California. Up and down the state, talking about Los Angeles, San Francisco, so many things to be done here. And it's just a great state. And plus, we feed the world too. We've got some of the best farming. Actually, probably the best farming in the world right here in the state of California. But yet we're not managed correctly. We're not managed correctly because we're run by the Democrats. And I hope the next go around we get smart and start, electing people that, come on, let's look at what Trump's doing with tariffs. Okay? He's getting more and more money, investments from other countries, investing in the United States, giving us trillions of dollars and tariffs. Now, this is how the country used to run before they implemented the federal taxes. And now the federal taxes just go more and more and more on federal taxes, and we're only supposed to pay state taxes. That's what it was supposed to have been. And what we did on trade and with other countries, these were tariffs. These were taxes that were charged to other countries. But other presidents didn't do that. But President Trump's starting to bring that back, and we're going to be wealthy again. And I think they're talking about our deficit is $37 trillion. Well, yeah, but I think these tariffs that we're charging, that President Trump is charging, is going to bring the deficit down. That's the whole purpose of it. There's so many things that he's doing that's right. And if the Democrats would just get their head out of their ass saying that an orange man bad, they just don't like. At one time, we've talked about this before, everybody liked Donald Trump. I didn't. I liked him. I had no idea if he was a Democrat or a Republican, but I liked him. And, that's just Um, I think a lot of Democrats liked it because they actually thought he was a Democrat. And actually, when you think about it, I think he probably was. If he wasn't, I think he probably was. But I liked him. I liked his style. And but once he did run for a Republican, well, then the Democrats all start hating him. And for whatever reason, they tried to impeach him. They tried to get him out of office. They tried to get him off the ballot. They did so many things to keep him out. They even tried shooting him. Okay, twice they tried assassinating him. And the guy keeps coming back because you know what? He loves this country. He loves everything about this country. And I think that he's going to be, when the history books are written, he's going to be the best president we ever had. And if we keep going our direction, the direction he's going right now, I think he should be able to run another time, have 2 consecutive terms. But that's selfish on my part. He needs the latter part of his life. He needs to enjoy it. He needs to enjoy his family more. And he's getting the right people. Like, you got J.D. Vance can run for president after that. After 4 years of being with Trump as vice president, or Marco Rubio for that matter. Marco Rubio, I'd say, is doing a great job as Secretary of State. Then you still got Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. He's a lot like Trump too. He has the same ideas. So we got a slew of people who can run for president after Donald Trump's presidency. And I think if they follow his lead and just keep it up, just like Ronald Reagan did with George H.W. Bush, after Ronald Reagan ran for 2 terms and George H.W. After that, when Clinton took over, we had the first and only time we ever had a balanced budget. And I think if he keeps going this direction, he keeps the right people and getting them going in the right direction, and the Republican Party, the party of common sense, the MAGA Republicans, if he keeps going in the right direction, I think it's going to be a good thing for the rest of us. It's going to be some hurting going on for a while, especially right now with the government shutdown. Hopefully, it won't last too much longer. Hopefully, Democrats will get their head out of their ass and get in there and vote. Look at Fetterman. Nobody thought that Fetterman's he's Senator Fetterman out of Pennsylvania. Now he's a Democrat, but at least he's thinking. He said we shouldn't have a government shutdown. He thinks a lot of the stuff that Donald Trump's doing, his policies, are good policies. It's good. It's better for the country. And just start thinking what's better for the country, and stop thinking about, what's better for the Democrat Party, what's better for the country. That's what you have to do. And once you figure that out, I think we'll be a lot better off. So I don't think Donald Trump will ever get the Nobel Peace Prize. I really don't care. He's got the President Nixon, the Peace Prize, I guess, not Peace Prize. It's the Richard Nixon organization that they put out a prize, and he got that. And I just heard about that yesterday, and I don't even know what it is, but at least he gets acknowledgement from something, and he should get more acknowledgement. And I don't know. Sometimes he likes to boast a little bit, and that's okay. You want to feed his ego? Feed your ego. Come on. He's doing good for us. Love this guy, and he's going to do great things for us. Continually to do great things for us. So, anyhow, this is. I need you to subscribe and press the like button and share and hit that notification bell for Coffee Break with Jimmy, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.